What's going on, everybody? It is Tyler, and today we're doing part 2 of my top 100 favorite matches of the 2020s. Now, this goes from number 39 all the way to 100, and I'm not going to go in depth like I did yesterday. We have a lot to get through. We have a load to get through. Excuse me. So I'm not going to be going in depth and talking about every single piece of the match. Just why it deserves to be on the list, what the match is, etc. So, without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into it. We start off with number 39. We have Roman Reigns, and we have Edge, and we have Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 37. This was a fantastic match. Back and forth. Now, when this match initially happened, I was under the impression that it was the wrong call. That it was the wrong decision. Roman should have lost. Daniel Bryan should have won. But looking back on a fantastic match, I can honestly say that Roman Reigns winning was 100% the right call in hindsight. Because without Roman Reigns, without Roman winning this, we wouldn't have gotten all of the great Bloodline stuff that we got post WrestleMania 37. So, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Edge, WrestleMania 37. Next, we have Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody, WrestleMania 40 Night 1 main event. This was a fantastic main event. I loved The Rock in this. I loved The Rock's entrance, first of all. But The Rock in this match was just this, this evil, just this final boss, basically, which that was his whole character. But this evil, manipulative, that's the word, the manipulative character that he was playing with the ref and the whole, if you count me out, you're gonna be fired, and and then hitting Cody with the belt, hitting Seth with the belt, saying don't disqualify him. If he disqualifies him, he's fired. Fantastic match. Roman Reigns spearing The Rock accidentally, and The Rock coming up holding his stomach, or holding his rib cage, with that look on his face that has gotten memed, and memed, and memed, and memed. You get it. It was a great, amazing match. Next, we go to Io, Rhea, Bianca, WrestleMania 41. Now, this match was so good. It was an unexpected ending. I expected Io to lose. I did. Glad she didn't. I did not want her to lose. But I thought, there's no way. There's no way they're going to give Io the win with Rhea and Bianca in the same match. There's just no way. I'm proud to say that they gave Io Sky the win, and I could not be more happier. If you hear background noise, my cousins are over for New Year's Eve. So, they're 12 and they're 5. That's the 5-year-old. Or, no. Why did I just say he's 5? He's 7. God help me. He's 7, but still. Yeah. But anyways, this match deserves to be in the conversation for Women's Match of the Year and just overall Match of the Year. 100%. Io Bianca Rhea was a fantastic match. And a little unfortunate with the Bianca injury, but to me, Bianca was kind of getting stale, so Hopefully she comes back soon, though, because the women's division needs her. The women's division is struggling without her. And I think with this refresh of Bianca, of not having her for a year, I think it'll be a refresh of Bianca, and I won't be as sick of her as I was when she left. Next, we have the Memphis Tag Team Champions on the line, October 18th, 2025. The Posse versus Derek King and Ray Sanders. No, my bad. I said the date wrong. That's the date to another match. The date to this match was March 25th, 2023. The Posse versus Derek King and Ray Sanders. Fantastic match. These two teams tore the house down. They fought all over the Wrestle Center, and it was a great moment to see Derek and Ray get that heartfelt, great moment, winning the tag team champions. Ray getting the pin in front of his family, getting his very first championship in Memphis. It's first of many, in my opinion. But yes, just again a fantastic match between these two teams, and it just goes to show that the tag team division in Memphis is stacked. Next match, if you would have told me before this match happened that it was going to be on my favorite matches, I would have told you, you're dumb, you're stupid, this is going to be the worst match of all time. They're wasting two of the greatest of all time in one of the worst matches that they possibly could put on. And I'm happy to say that I ate my words as soon as the match was over with. It is WrestleMania 36. It is John Cena. It is The Fiend. They took what could have been the worst match of all time and turned it into one of the best matches of all time. I said what I said. The Fiend vs. John Cena. It wasn't a 5-star masterpiece, no. But it was a great love letter to John Cena's illustrious career. From debut to WrestleMania 30 to current day to the what-if scenario of him turning heel and joining the NWO. It was just, and it was comical in some parts, and it was just overall entertainment. It was a great match, and a match that hits right here in the feels, and it's just a great match to look back on. Next match is the Memphis Wrestling episode from October 18th, 2025. This is the dates that I got confused. But it was Kalisto and Tim Bosby. Probably my favorite match that's ever been produced from Championship Wrestling from Memphis. These two, if you want a match that is back and forth, that is fast-paced, that is false finish after false finish after false finish, this is the match. Fantastic through and through. Tim Bosby, this is just another match that proves Tim Bosby is the future of professional wrestling. Next, Roman, Daniel Bryan, Fastlane 2021. This is another match. Back and forth. Great technical wrestling from Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan actually made Roman Reigns tap in this match. Roman tapped in this match, but no refs were there to see it, so did it really happen? It got a little chaotic and overbooked, with Edge being the special guest enforcer, but overall, great match. Great prelude to the Triple Threat WrestleMania match, and it was just a great notch in this amazing feud that they had. And on top of that, it was great that these two fought at Fastlane a few years, after they fought in Fastlane 2015, which I happened to be at. So, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Fastlane 2021. Next, it's going to be Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria in 2025. Again, this is one I'm cheating on. Any match they had minus their SummerSlam match, which I was not a huge fan of. But their Backlash match and their Money in the Bank match was phenomenal. Fantastic. The only thing I did not like about the Money in the Bank match was the actual stipulation. And the whole aftermatch of Lyra attacking Becky after she put the title on her, I didn't like that whole thing. But the actual match itself, these two elevated the Women's Intercontinental title, and these two proved that they deserve to be where they're at on the card. Next, Sami, Kevin Owens, Elimination Chamber 2025. What a match. Back and forth, violent, that I didn't think WWE would be willing to do. And they did, and I'm happy to say that they did. Barbed wire chairs, pile drivers, chair shots, table spots. It had everything. This match went on for about 40 minutes, something like that. This match went on for a long time, but it deserved every minute. And then, at the very end, Owens went to go pile drive Sami Zayn onto the concrete, and we had the return of Randy Orton, which was a fantastic moment. Next, we go to a very, very recent one, December 26th, 2025, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, United States Championship. Fantastic, phenomenal match between these two. These two, I hope, and I really don't think it's the last time we're seeing of these two in the ring against each other. These two tore the house down. The ending of the match with Ilya going for the Torpedo Moscow. The first 48, the last 48, one of them. He hits him with it, drills him with it, goes up to the top. Nothing but net leg drop onto Ilya. 1, 2, 3. We have a new United States champion, and I am so happy for Carmelo, and I am so happy for this reign, and I cannot wait to see what happens in 2026 for Carmelo Hayes. Bayley, Sasha Banks, Hell in a Cell 2020. Beautiful match. This was one of the best female matches of all time. Easily the best female Hell in a Cell match of all time. We gained a new SmackDown Women's Champion out of it. And it was just another great match in the legendary feud that is Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Hopefully, this is not the last time that these two are in the same ring with each other, or against each other, rather. Hopefully, Sasha comes back home to the WWE, and we can get Sasha versus Bayley once again. Again, just to reiterate, this is a phenomenal match, and just another phenomenal match in the legendary feud of Bayley versus Sasha Banks. And Sasha Banks ended up winning this match and becoming new SmackDown Women's Champion. NXT In Your House 2020, Io, Charlotte, and Rhea. This match was phenomenal. They tore the house down. Io actually went on top of the house that they had on stage as a prop and flipped backflip moonsault off of it onto Charlotte and Rhea. Fantastic spot. Spot that is ingrained in my brain. I was so happy that Io won. Going into this match, my stock on Io was up here. And then after this match, it was all the way up here. I love that Io won. I wanted her to win. And just the fact that Io finally got her flowers and got the NXT Women's Championship is what elevated this match. But aside from that, it was already a really, really amazing match. Next, we go to Championship Wrestling from Memphis, May 18th, 2024. Aaron Roberts, Zay Washington, Tim Bosby. Fantastic match for the Internet Championship. You had Zay Washington, who is an absolute star. The 450 that he hits, fantastic. Aaron Roberts, who is a fantastic big man, who had a WWE ID contract, but for some unlogical, idiotic, in my opinion, reasoning, they let him go of said contract. Whatever. And then you got Tim Bosby, who I said earlier, the future of professional wrestling. And they just tore the house down. Now, in yesterday's video, I said that the triple threat between Bosby, Josh Alexander, and Aaron Roberts is where Aaron Roberts wins the Internet Championship. But I actually do believe it's this match. I could be wrong. I know it's one of those matches, I just don't remember which one. But I do believe it is this match. Maybe. Anyways, yes. Aaron Roberts, Zay Washington, Tim Bosby, they stole the show on that episode. They were fantastic, incredible, three incredible talents. Put them in the ring together. They're going to make a classic match. And that is exactly what they did. Hold on. I gotta get me a drink for this match. Javon Evans versus Leon Slater. Bound for Glory 2025. The greatest match that I've ever seen outside of the WWE. They threw everything they had and then some more. They laid it all on the line. They put on one of the greatest matches of 2025, period. Top 5 for me. I mean, what was there not to like about the ending? The ending was weak. With the double DQ because of Dark State. That was pretty bad. But other than that, this match was beautiful. You hear me? Beautiful. These two, I hope we can see them running it back. If they want to run it back 30 times in 2026, guess what? You're not going to hear one complaint out of me. Whether it's for the X Division Championship, the NXT Championship, or for nothing at all on an exhibition match. Let's run it again and again and again. You're not going to hear any complaints. Leon Slater, Javon Evans, Bound for Glory 2025, 100% deserves to be on this list. Next is another match that I thought was stupid and dumb in the beginning, until the match actually happened. Undertaker, AJ Styles in a boneyard match. Not knowing that it was going to be a buried alive match. And the cinematic was what it says it is, cinema. It was perfect. From Undertaker entering on a bike, AJ entering by sitting up in a casket, OC getting involved, getting chokeslammed off the shed, or the house, or whatever that thing was. And then, overall, Undertaker defeating AJ Styles. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't AJ do the spot where he, lifted his hand up off the ground, or out of the ground? I don't think he did, but he might have. Again, I don't think he did. But for some reason, I'm remembering that visual of AJ's hand coming up. Maybe not, but who knows. Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36. Next, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, WrestleMania 41. What a match. What an encounter these three had. First off, Punk's entrance was fire. Roman's entrance was fire. Seth's entrance was fire. Quite literally. They then fought all over Allegiant Stadium. That's where it was, right? Allegiant? Because SoFi is in Los Angeles. I believe this was Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, because that's where they're headed back to next year. Then, you had Paul Heyman turn on CM Punk and realign with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns goes to smack Seth with the chair like Seth did to Roman many years ago. That's fireworks because it's New Year's Eve. And then Paul Heyman turns on Roman Reigns, low blows him. Seth Rollins aligns himself with holy smokes. Happy New Year to you too. I need to get out there and watch those. Wow. Anyways. But then Paul Heyman aligns himself with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins becomes the new Paul Heyman guy. And Seth Rollins wins the WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Next is the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania 40 between New Catch Republic, the Judgment Day, Awesome Truth, the New Day, DIY, and what's the other team? A-Town Down Under. These six tore the house down. They put on one of the greatest matches of that WrestleMania. From the Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate doing NSYNC moonsaults off the ladder. JD McDonough taking that nasty bump. I want to say Grayson Waller also took a really nasty bump through a ladder. Matter of fact, yes, he did, because he won, and then he was celebrating, and then I forgot who pushed him off, but somebody pushed him off. But it was great seeing, Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth get that heartfelt title win at WrestleMania. It was just a great, fantastic moment for these two men. And, yeah, so A-Town Down Under won the WWE Tag Team Champions. Awesome Truth won the World Tag Team Champions. And this is what finally split the tag team titles up, which was awesome. Next, it's going to be Mike Anthony, Will Allday, and Tony Nese Championship Wrestling from Memphis, October 22nd, 2022. What a match. Mike Anthony was for the Memphis Heritage Championship, which Mike Anthony was holding, by the way. Mike Anthony is a star in the making, is a star in the business. He's got everything. Character work, promo ability is better than some in WWE. In-ring ability, selling ability. He has gotten me almost every show with his selling. Made me freak out that he is legitimately hurt, badly hurt. And then, Tony Nese, in this match, he proved that if he is able to go out there and work, and just be him and work, he can put on a really amazing match. And then Will Allday is somebody who, I'd never heard of before this match. And unfortunately, after this match, he kind of disappeared. And I don't know what he's doing at the moment. But this match made me fall in love with Will all day. He was doing the most high-flying athletic moves that no human should be able to do. This match was phenomenal. Mike Anthony, in the end, retains the Memphis Heritage Championship in what was one of my favorite Memphis wrestling matches of all time. And for a while, it was my favorite match of all time, or favorite Memphis match of all time. Next, we have Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble 2025. This was such a beautiful match. Just the disgusting bumps that Cody was taking on the ladder, the bump that Kevin Owens was taking on the ladders, the disgusting bump that Kevin Owens took through the ladder. Oh, it was insanity. And then Sami Zayn coming out there and checking on Owens just put a great bit of storytelling into this match. And then Cody Rhodes winning and triumphantly standing over Owens with both championships held up high was just a great way to close the match and a great closing shot for this match. Just seeing Owens folded like a freaking omelet in between that ladder, it was just amazing. And the feud going into this match was also actually really, really good. Next, Bound for Glory 2025, Hardys versus Dudleys. Now, I had a hard time putting this match on the list because when I first watched it, I was like, that's it. But looking back and rewatching it to put this or to put it on the list, yes, it did have the quick table elimination with Jeff Hardy. But that was just the greatest hit of the Dudley Boys to send them off. And then you had Matt Hardy coming back, the huge table dive from Jeff Hardy onto Devon, even though he missed, but I found out why he missed later on. It was to protect Devon. So after I found that out, I said, you know what? I don't care that he missed. He was just trying to protect Devon. I respect that. And then you had Bubba Ray Dudley just basically accepting his fate. Just saying, you know what? Time's come to an end. Put me through the table. And he gets up, puts his hands up, and they said, I'm sorry. I love you. Kind of a great homage to Shawn and Rick. Double slam, choke slam, side slam through the table. And then the tearjerker where the Dudley Boys retire. It's a great nostalgic match. And I think nostalgia won. And is the reason that it's on the list, if I'm being real honest. Next, we go to Monday Night Raw. Hold on, let me read my handwriting. I believe that says September the 9th, 2024. I know it says September 2024. I can't read what date that I wrote down. But it was the 8-person tag team street fight between American Made and the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six had just debuted. They were going after American Made. And then this match was beautiful. The Sister Abigail to end the match with Uncle Howdy. And then I believe Dexter Loomis hit a beautiful senton through a table. Nikki Cross kind of tormenting Ivy Nile in a couple parts of the match, freaking her out with the. Then she got the fire extinguisher. There were kendo stick shots that were brutal, chair shots, but just this was when I still am, just to be clear. But this was when, if Wyatt 6 was on the TV, my eyes were glued. And this match was a great, I was going to say great first match, but this was not a first match. This was their second match as a team, I believe. But still, this was a great showing for the Wyatt 6. And honestly, for American Made too. Because it was just fantastic. Through and through. Next. Alright. Here we go. Next. Zachary Wentz versus Wesley. NXT No Mercy 2024. I did not expect this match to be as good as it was. I thought, these are just tag team guys who are, going through their tag team breakup. And it was just going to be a run-of-the-mill match. Wesley was going to win. Which, I'll be honest, I don't remember who won this match. I think Zachary won. I don't remember. But what I do remember is that disgusting bump that Zachary Wentz took when he was going to do something to Wes. And Wes shoved him. And Zachary went flying. Was gonna go through the table, missed the table, and slammed against the concrete. Oh, God. I remember watching that and legitimately I cringed. I was like, oh, he's hurt. But he wasn't, thank God. But yeah, this match was a lot better than I honestly expected it to be. But Zachary Wentz versus Wesley, NXT No Mercy 2024. Next, we go to Championship Wrestling for Memphis Super Bowl 2022. Austin Lane versus Bret Michaels. What a match. Now, these two going into it were undefeated in 2022. And let me tell y'all something. They stole the show. They put it on the line. There was a few moments where it was like, Austin Lane's going to win the championship. And then he didn't. And then Bret ended up, in the end, gun show lariat 1, 2, 3, and retaining the Memphis Wrestling Heritage Championship. Next, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Night of Champions 2025 in the finals of the King of the Ring. This just goes to show you that these two need to be feuding right about now. WrestleMania Night 2, main event, needs to be these two. They put everything out on the freaking line. Back and forth. There's a few moments where I was like, is Randy actually going to win this? And then he didn't. And then Cody ended up winning, which I did predict. What a match. What a match. And again, like I just said, this proves these two need to be feuding immediately for the WWE Championship. Hopefully, WrestleMania Night 2 main event, we get these two because it will be no short of a phenomenal match. Next, the 2025 Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Solo Sikoa, Penta, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. That's right. I was like, who was the sixth? That's right. That's exactly who it was. This match was fantastic. I was one LA Knight to win. I was shocked to see Seth Rollins win. Well, not shocked, but kind of like, okay, I'm intrigued. The beautiful stomp onto Seth Rollins. The beautiful moment where Jacob Fatu finally turned on Solo Sikoa. I believe I believe Jacob even put Solo through a ladder. I could be wrong, but I believe he did. And it was just fantastic match through and through. Seth Rollins winning and then going on to do that phenomenal, one of the best cash-ins of all time at SummerSlam. Next is Obafemi versus Miles Born at NXT Battleground 2025. This match I thought was going to be the definition of mediocre. I said there's no way that Miles Born is going to win. There's no way that Miles Born even has a chance of winning. Obafemi did win. But Miles Born opened my eyes. And there was a few moments where I said Miles Born just won this match. Like, that's it. And then Oba kicks out. And then Miles Born comes back, does something. I think he's won. And Oba kicks out. And that happened like 5, 6, 7 times. I was amazed at how good Miles Born showed up and showed out in this match. Obafemi getting the win, well deserved, but Miles Born, don't sleep on Miles Born ever again like I did before this match. Like probably a lot of people did before this match. Next, WrestleMania 39, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. My match of the year for 2023. Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus, you want a match that is absolutely hard-hitting to the point where it hurts you just watching it? Because these three are beating the ever-loving daylight out of each other with the hardest, stiffest strikes you will ever see in your life. This is the match right here. This is it. And this is another match that I went in saying Gunther's had the title for about a year, or for a little less than a year. This is the match that he's going to lose. Sheamus is going to win, get the Grand Slam, and then Gunther won. And at the time, I was like, oh, okay. But in hindsight, I'm glad he won, because we wouldn't have gotten the record-breaking Intercontinental title win, or Intercontinental title reign that we did with Gunther, and I'm so happy that we did. So Gunther, Drew, Sheamus, WrestleMania 39, again, won my match of the year for 2023, so it 100% had to be on this list. Next, we go back to WrestleMania 39. We got the men's tag team showcase. The War Raiders, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Street Profits. This match, I almost did not watch. I was this close to going and getting a snack, going and getting some food, going and literally doing anything else except for this match, except to watch this match. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because it was not just a bathroom break. It was not just a food break. It was not just the, okay, whatever, worst match. No, it had the potential to be the best match of the night. I'm telling y'all, this match cooked from start to finish. It is so fast-paced. It's such a short of a match. But it had spots everywhere. It had Braun getting pounced into an oblivion. It had Ricochet doing a freakish tower suplex, front flip, blockbuster, whatever you want to call it. Then it had the Street Profits, Montez just doing Montez for things. The coming out party for Chad Gable doing the German suplex on the Braun Strowman. Just freakish behavior. And it was absolutely fantastic, this match was. And I am so glad that I ended up watching it, because it ended up becoming one of my favorite matches of all time. Next, we go to Fastlane 2023, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the Last Man Standing. Now, I was rooting for Shinsuke in this match. Seth ended up winning. I'm not going to complain. But this match did one thing. Well, it did a few things. But it did one thing in particular. And it proved that Shinsuke Nakamura belongs to be in the main event picture. He deserves to be heavyweight champion. He deserves to be with Roman and Punk and Braun Breaker and AJ Styles and Seth Rollins and CM Punk, if I didn't say him, and John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Cena's retired. And Gunther. Shinsuke vs. Gunther would slap. Quite literally. But this match was so good. Seth Rollins getting up after the mist and then him getting shoved through the announce table was absolutely insane. But this 100% deserves to be on this list. And this proves that Shinsuke belongs in the main event. Next, it's going to be the six-pack tag ladder match. SummerSlam 2025. We had DIY, we had Fraxium, we had the Wyatt Six, we had the Street Profits, we had the Motor City Machine Guns, and we had Andrade and Rey Fenix. Table spot after table spot after table spot after table spot. 4 back-to-back, and they were all incredible. Incredible. I was scared because I thought this was going to be the match that the Wyatt Six lost, but it was not. The Wyatt Six ended up retaining, and Candice LeRae, who wasn't even in the match, she was just a manager for DIY, took the biggest bump of the match, getting pushed off the ladder accidentally by her husband, Johnny Gargano, and comes crashing through another ladder on the outside. It was just, oof. It was atrocious. But it was so good. So fantastic. So, the 6th tag team ladder match from SummerSlam 2025 deserved to be on this list. And again, the Wyatt Six retained, which kind of bumped it up for me. Next, we have the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match. You had a fantastic first two with Gunther and Sheamus. Then you had a fantastic match between the final two, Cody and Gunther. You had a fantastic, deserving, although predictable winner with Cody Rhodes. This match was so good. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. And I could not think of a better Rumble match. Or not Rumble match, but a better Rumble match, or a match of that night. That's what I'm trying to say. Can't think. But I could not think of a better match that night. Because that match was just... Then you had the freakish, just insane move where Logan and Ricochet are on opposite ends. They jump and collide with one another. Just, everything about this match was fantastic. Next, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, SummerSlam 2023. If this would have been a few months after Seth's reign, like further into his reign, Finn Balor would have won this match. The writing was on the wall. The story was perfect. Finn Balor should have won this match. I was rooting for Finn. I wanted Finn to win. I loved the Judgment Day shenanigans and just the drama within the Judgment Day that cost Finn Balor the win. That was a great story piece for this match. And then Seth Rollins ultimately getting the win. But the actual in-ring work between these two was nothing short of amazing. it really, really was one of the best matches of Seth's title reign, match of the night, and as you see here, one of my favorite matches of the 2020s. Now, I know I said that this was going to be part 2 of 2, but this is going to be part 2 of 3. Because I've got to get out there and, and be with my family, and my Nana is trying to also call me, so I've got a lot going on. I just chose a horrible time to film this. But don't you worry, tomorrow, New Year's Day, we'll upload part 3 of 3. Also coming soon will be my review of my 2025 predictions / wants, and then my 2026 predictions / wants. So, if you like this video, want more videos like this video, then hit the like button as hard as possible can. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and stay tuned for part 3, where we will go 70 to 100. We ended on 69. No, excuse me. We ended on 70, so we'll go 71 to 100. And I can already tell you the match that we're going to start with is a heater. So, don't miss it. Part 3. And as always, I love you all. Please stay safe. Happy New Year's. And peace.